Time and time again, Linda Kriska has demonstrated perseverance and resiliency in her life. She has affected many lives with her optimistic, caring, hardworking lifestyle. However, she did have some hardships that she had to face. In high school, Linda made the varsity volleyball team as a freshman. She had to work hard for her starting setter position in every game and eventually won captain senior year. That year, she was nominated through the varsity club for homecoming queen, along with another girl on her team. Many weeks before the election, the coach made her and the other girl nominated promise that if they won, they wouldn't go, and instead they'd go to the tournament in Rockford. Not thinking that she would win, Linda did say that she would not go, and so did the other girl. But then the election came around, and Linda Kriska was nominated homecoming queen. She was very excited, but she also had to decide if she was going to go to the volleyball game. She made her decision and went to the homecoming dance with her boyfriend as king. Linda said she felt like it was her responsibility to the school to go. She had a blast at homecoming and loved every bit of that night. But then, when she got back to volleyball, the coach immorally benched her for 4 to 5 games after homecoming. Not only that, but she took away Linda's captainship and gave it to her best friend on the team. Crushed, Linda persevered through it. She kept her head high and stayed on the team. Years later, she said she still stands by her decision. On August 13, 1988, Linda married a man named John Wysek after a year of dating. However, after about 10 years of complication, betrayal, and mistreatment, they divorced. John had been cheating on her with his secretary at work. Linda said not only had he done that, but he was also diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and when he went to get help, he started to drink while he was on medications, which made his mood fluctuate in mere minutes. She said it was a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde situation, because one minute he was one way and one minute he's the next. Because of his cheating, he had also lost his job. Soon, in 1998, Linda asked for the divorce. The divorce was a very rough time for many months. He was increasingly mad at her and did many very wrong things. He had left her rude voicemails and even threatened to kill her. Not only that, but one time he poured gasoline on her property, a day that she had had the kids with her. She had to get the police involved, and in about a 3-month investigation, they had found out it was him. They had got an order of protection so that he couldn't go within 20 feet of them. While they were going through the divorce, they wanted to keep their 2 kids in one house, so they would switch off every night. One night, John would stay with the kids, and Linda would go to her brother's house, my dad. And then the next night, she would go over, and he would sleep somewhere else. She said she was displaced because she was living out of a suitcase the whole time. After the divorce, Linda said it hardened her to love because she lost a lot of self-confidence. But what ultimately led to the divorce was that bipolarism never got better. Throughout it, she had a lot of support from her brother and family, and eventually it was done. She got through it and is now dating, quote, the love of her life. In 2013, all of Linda's marbles fell out of her jar. In April, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. Her and her family were both equally surprised. Nobody saw it coming. But after interviewing her, something made me respect her more than I already did. I learned that she only cried 4 times during her journey through cancer. The first time, when she found out she was diagnosed with cancer and when she had to tell her mom. The second time, when she came home from a double mastectomy. She was heavily medicated, had tubes in her, was very sick, and in a lot of pain. She couldn't bathe herself. It was horrible. The third time, when she took off the bandages and saw the damage that had been done. And lastly, when the rest of her marbles fell out of her jar. She had just finished chemotherapy, but then her house was going into foreclosure. She had lost her job and her insurance company wasn't paying for her to be gone, so she couldn't pay her mortgage. Next, her son announced that he was going into the Air Force, and she was having trouble walking and holding things while she was sick. However, she said, every other day besides those 4 days was a good day. She had laughed at the chemotherapy and had fun during the sessions. She bought fun wigs while she had lost her hair. Linda said about her experience, God took my jar and shook it, and all the marbles came out. My job, house, child, and health. And every single marble that came out was better than the one before. But sometimes people with struggles only think about the marble that was rolling away, but I like to think about the new one that's coming in. So, she beat cancer, kept her house, got an awesome job, and a great boyfriend.